let's get like a moment of silence so Kayla can trim this correctly.
Thank you all for coming to my sweet abode. Family members, dad, mom, boyfriend, thank you very much. I would like to start off with a story that happened around this time last year, just after New Year's. I had gone to Iceland for New Year's, and it was our very last day. I was with Mike, my boyfriend, and we were deciding what to do. Do you know what Iceland is usually known for?
Ice.
Ice is one of them, but a lot of people think of the Blue Lagoon when they think of Iceland. So we decided that we had to visit. Even though a massive storm was rolling in, the road conditions said it was fine to drive. So I've got my trusty sidekick Mike as he's driving, and we packed all the suitcases into the car. And the visibility was terrible. I don't know what's the worst visibility you've ever had, but this was about 3 feet in front of us. We couldn't see anything other than storm and snow flying side to side, and it was white. But the roads, you could see them. So we were driving, and it's normally a 15-minute drive, and it took us about an hour, not to get to Iceland, but to get to the road into the Blue Lagoon. And we turned off the highway, and a gust of wind hit the car, and we got blown off. So we called the rental company, and they told us that in a couple hours we could be hopeful to get a pickup truck to pull us out of the snow. And this was a little nerve-wracking because we had reservations for the Blue Lagoon, which we didn't want to miss, but it was also our last day, which means we had a reservation for the airport to go home. So we couldn't miss that flight, although we would have appreciated that because then we got an extra day in Iceland. However, we also wanted to go to the Blue Lagoon. And as we were waiting for the tow truck, Search and Rescue pulled up behind us, and they offered us a ride. They couldn't remove the car because of the storm, it would block too many cars. So we said, screw it, thank you. Please help us out, and they offered to take us to the Blue Lagoon. We arrived, we had an amazing time. The Blue Lagoon is really something special. After we were done, we called for a taxi. We learned that our car had been removed from the snow and brought to the rental company. However, all the roads had been shut down in Iceland because of this storm. It was just too dangerous to drive anymore. We noticed that one car had come into the Blue Lagoon parking lot, which was unusual because the roads were shut down, and we talked to the man who was driving the truck, and he said he had one spot for either me or Mike to go. And this was our only opportunity to leave the Blue Lagoon. And so I volunteered to go. I left Mike behind at the Blue Lagoon, and luckily the man was very, very sweet, and we had a lovely conversation all the way back. He taught me a few Icelandic words, and by the time he took me to the car, I was almost sad to see him go. Either way, I had a lovely time with him, and I picked up Mike, and we made it to our plane. Today, I would like to convince you to go to Iceland because of the uniquely beautiful sights, the kind and amazing people, and because of how eco-friendly it is without even knowing it. An article written by Smith earlier this year said that about 11% of Iceland is covered by stunning glaciers. Iceland really has it all. It's got black sand beaches, it has glaciers, it has waterfalls, it has volcanoes, it has geysers, it has it all. I was only there for 5 days, and I wish it could have been longer. However, in those 5 days, I charged my camera twice a day. Yes, because it was freezing cold and the battery died very quickly, but also because every day I was using my camera and taking videos and pictures. An article written by Astra earlier this year as well summed it up perfectly. He said that Iceland is a place of surreal beauty. The second reason I would like to tell you why you should visit Iceland is because of the people. They are kind and amazing, but they also love coffee. And if that isn't enough of a reason, I may as well stop here. An academic study in The Guardian by Carla in 2020 reported that Icelanders are the happiest people in the world. The happiest people. You think, hey, it's really cold and freezing there, I don't know if that's possible. After being in Iceland, I realized this is true. Not only the happiest, but they were willing to give us a helping hand at any point. From the grocery store when we couldn't read the Icelandic language, which is very, very difficult, to being blown off the side of the road and giving us a free ride. The last reason I have why you should visit Iceland is because of how eco-friendly it is. According to Valur, written in 2017, over 99%, almost 100% of electricity production and almost 80% of total energy product of Iceland comes from hydropower, which is water, and geothermal power making. No other nation uses such a high proportion of renewable energy resources. This could have saved my life, because when I was driving to the Blue Lagoon, luckily the roads were still drivable. And they were drivable because of all the extra geothermal water they have. They put into pipes and they put it under the road. This way they're heated and you can still drive on them. The bridges is a little different story because you can't really hang pipes under it, so those are a little sketchy, but the roads are perfect and still drivable when they get lots and lots of storms. Finally, I would like to call to action. My call to action is that you should visit Iceland, and as soon as possible, because I'm telling you, once you go, you'll want to go back. So, even though the prices are expensive, I'm telling you it's worthwhile. You should go to Iceland because of the beautiful sights, because of the people who are kind and friendly, and they believe in elves and trolls. They believe they live all over Iceland. And lastly, because of how eco-friendly they are. Side note, that there's not a lot of restaurants there. So, for example, Starbucks and McDonald's, you won't find them, which reduces on waste, which helps with the eco-friendliness. So lastly, I'd like to remind you that adventure is worthwhile. And you might even see an elf or a troll if you go to Iceland. So, I'm encouraging you to go as soon as possible. Thank you very much for listening to my speech.